Monday. La la ta ta ta.
Probably the greatest night in the history of television, right? That was, we had so much fun. The tears that were flowing out of pure. Remember the tears? From the totally non-biased anchors. We have another one of them coming up next week, Kristen Welker. She deleted her entire account. I wonder why. I can't imagine. I've known her for a long time. She's extraordinarily unfair, but that's all right. We did very well the other night with a person I knew was even more unfair, Savannah. In fact, nobody's seen Savannah for 2 days. What happened to Savannah? What happened to Savannah? They said, we'd like to give Savannah coffee. I said, that's all right. What difference does it make? They ask you a question, you give them an answer, right? It doesn't matter. But she was sort of jumping out of her seat. She was like flying for it. It was like, I told you. I said, I don't care what you told me. What does that mean? No, but we actually got A+ marks on that, but it was very unfair. Then you watch Sleepy Joe get interviewed by George Stephanopoulos. Nice guy, but he's a tough guy. And he's tough. I interviewed with him 2 weeks ago. He's tough. He's giving like these lobs, like in slow motion, lobs. No, it's unfair, but you know what? It's so unfair.
Big election in America. Wow, everything's going to change. Everything's going to change for the better because we're having an election. Big election. Big election. Did we forget? Did we forget that the elections are fake? No. So I want to. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Marcus Conte reporting. Good morning. Vinny DiMartini in the wrench. Working the wrench. Motherfucker, working the wrench. Quantum Epic is here. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Let people gather. I want to take a risk. I want to go out there today, and I don't want people to think I'm like crazy or it's like hallucinogenics, pot logic, or any of that shit. Because it's not. So. Back in March, April, maybe even February, March, April, right? Something happened. You saw everything collapsed, right? The economies like stopped working. There was virus. There was widespread illness. People were getting sick. Others were waking up. Something cataclysmically happened on Earth. Right around March of 2020, April. We're about 7 or 8 months into that. And what I propose is this. What I propose is that people think about this for 1 second. I've asked a couple of people about this on the fly, on the sly, just having chats with people. And the conclusion that I have in my mind is that everything is dying. Now, let me clarify. Something clicked in whether it's consciousness, whether it's global, something on Earth. Maybe we shifted, 2 degrees off axis. The Earth stopped, spin. And what I think is happening is that people are not able. Although they want to go back to a normal, or they're trying to revive what was, it's technically impossible because everybody's mind has shifted slightly. And what is the cause of that? You can say, a superficial explanation for that would be, it's politics. Let's blame the Republicans. Let's blame the Democrats. Let's blame China. Let's blame Russia. That's all stupid. That's stupidity. Let's blame humans. Although humans are the spearhead of this radical shift because sheer numbers, the 7 billion humans over-consuming on this planet, are very likely throwing it out of balance. And you see the extinction of other species. But are we dying? Has something happened that is beyond our conception? Has something shifted to the point where it's at the tipping point? Have we gone over a tipping point where maybe we're being infected by radiation, a gravitational shift right? Where is the evidence for something like this? The evidence is in people's behavior. People are fucking crazy right now. Human beings are losing their minds. Species are dying off. There's fucking wild, you see bugs that, like, I notice it. I notice these things. A lot of people don't notice these things. People are walking through this life asleep. But sometimes there are awake people in this world that see it. And so I said to some young man in the park, I don't know if I said this yesterday or the day before, but it occurs to me now. I've been saying it for a while. And he looked, I said, how's everything going? How's it going with you? He says, yeah, everything's dying. I said, what? He says, yeah, everything is dying. Everything, and it's happening fast. It's accelerating. Well, I said it was accelerating because that's what I saw. And we had this conversation. And I was walking along the, actually I was running yesterday. I was running along the path, my running path. I'm on the path, right? I'm running. And there's a friend that I see along that path every once in a while. He's almost always there. I don't always go that way because I cut a different way a lot of times. But when I go there, I almost always stop and talk. And he's an older kind of New York guy. How you doing? Hey, Marcus, how you doing? You look fucking great, man. What'd you lose weight? Hey, how you doing? He's a really, really nice guy, right? Really, really insightful man. And he's a, hardcore Trump supporter, hates fucking, New York politics, hates the Democrats. That's his side of the argument, right? And I said to him, bro, don't think I'm fucking crazy, right? But I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think that everything is dying right now? Do you think that the planet is dying, that we've shifted off axis and we're fucked? And he paused. This is a guy that, this is a New York guy. He's not going to take no bullshit. He's not going to listen to no hippy-dippy shit about Green New Deal or any of that, or climate change. And he said, you hear this, right? Whenever someone's really contemplating, they go like this. Right? You hear that sigh. It's like this. You ask him a question, and they're like, and he said, yeah. He said, yeah. It's something is wrong. He said it's wrong. That's all I'm trying to say is that if everything is, it's Bill West says everything is accelerating toward the end, right? But is there, look, the planet has survived a long time. Planet has survived ice ages and survived, heat, molten lava, nothing but gas, nothing but liquid, for a billion years. However, we don't know. However long, we have some evidence that species have come together and fallen apart. But we also have some evidence, not very strong evidence, that societies have also crumbled. Like Atlantis, for example, where there's this, suddenly a city is plunged underwater. Or technologies that were there and then no more as a result of human extinction, human shift. So these shifts have occurred quite often in the existence of our Earth. But is this I guess the big question is the human species on its way out? Are we fucked and irrevocably fucked? And if that is the case, how long does it take before we're gone? How long does it take before we extinct ourselves? Could it happen in a flash? Have we passed the tipping point where it just has to shift a little more and then we fry, we burn, poof, we're gone because the climate changes so quickly? Or is it something that is happening more gradually? I would think that it's something that it's not as gradual as you think because there are people that notice it. That's all I'm trying to say. So I threw that out there, man. And I don't, I'm not really. It is some. Andrew G says we're doomed. That is what I'm saying is technically a doomsday prophecy, and that's what it is. It's the equivalent of people walking around in Times Square with a sign saying, repent. The earth is on fire. Find Jesus now, or find Buddha, find Allah. It's the same thing. It is a doomsday prophecy, but is it accurate based on what we're seeing, based on the societal breakdowns amongst humans, the total denigration of the environment in terms of other species? There's the evidence. The feeling. Yeah, feelings are not facts, but you could feel it. I've been on the train many times. I've been walking around many times and said, whew, something's not right. Something is not fucking right. Look how uptight people are. Look at the way people are acting. This is fucked up. And again, it's not pot logic or any of that shit. It's not hallucinogenics kicking in. It's stored in the fat cell somewhere from teenager. But it's quantifiable. It's visible is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, Marcus Conte reporting. Let's going the wrong way. Going the wrong way. Turn around, Conte. So that was the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, saying that the elections are going to be a total fucking rig. But before we do that, let's go to marcusconte.com, and all the videos that I put out here are here. And this is a way to keep everything in order. It's also a way for you to find me if I suddenly disappear. If YouTube videos get deleted, just go here. Go to BitChute. I would hope that you would see it in your heart to make a contribution through PayPal and Patreon. Be an ongoing supporter of this channel, wherever we may be. It will always be here. Today we're out on the B channel because YouTube deemed the A channel in scam and ripoff and inconsistent with the truth, which is fucking crazy. Huh? But we'll ride that out another day or two, whatever. Who cares? We're here. We are here. Kindly share these videos as well. Share, because I think I don't want to be. I don't want to, and I certainly don't want people following me into an empty hole. I don't want you following. I don't want to be screaming truth down an empty hole with just a bunch of us. Although it's cool, but I would like to see this hit critical mass so that we can broaden the reach, right? Broaden the reach on truth. So share it. Just click share. Say, oh, this guy's fucking, share this shit, right? So, you want to watch a good video? I don't know why this is fascinating, but let's watch a little bit of a crocodile. An alligator in the water gets attacked by a python, a giant fucking snake, or vice versa. I don't know. Maybe the alligator attacked the. Maybe the snake attacked the alligator. I don't know who started it, but here we go. Oh, yeah, baby. So it's an alligator with a giant snake in his mouth, right? He's out there fishing, right? See that shit? It's nature, right? It's just a survival of the fittest. This is what we would be doing if we didn't have to, we don't have to do this. We can survive on what's grown out of the ground, but for some animals, we don't have a choice. Eating plant-based diet's not going to cut it for a fucking 800-pound alligator. So he's got to find himself a snake, giant worm. So you see the snake trying to that's a big snake. If that were you and I, see how the snake is. He's whipping around trying to bite the alligator. You see his head right over here. Right over here, you see the alligator's head trying to bite him. And every time the snake gets a little momentum, he fucking shakes him out. Hey, cut me. You're gonna. Oh yeah, you're gonna squeeze my head. I'm gonna fucking bite your balls off, man. You don't have any balls. Yeah. There's tragedy in this, right? There's also triumph, right? This is the species survival of the fittest, right? Who's going to eat who? If the snake poisons the alligator dies, and then many creatures feed off of the dead alligator. And if the alligator survived, he gets to have himself a giant fucking meal. He's gonna put away that whole. He's gonna put away that whole snake, and he's good for like a week. This is what it is. This is what it is. There's for every action, there's a reaction. For every loss, there's a gain. What I'm trying to say about the end. If we are approaching a philosophical ending of, I don't know, human society, then there's enormous opportunity for rebirth, for, you know, becoming healthy in a society where other people are not healthy. Where in that same society people are not healthy, where you can go out and exercise your body and eat properly and take care of yourself and meditate and come closer to the truth. Or you can just choke yourself in ignorance and die like that, miserable, with a mask on, alone. So anyway, philosophical this morning. Oh my God, I'm hippy dippy. Right? Is that hippy dippy? Is it hippy dippy to talk about the end and the possibility that I don't know what I was trying to say. Oh yeah, is it hippy dippy to think that the world is about to end? That we're approaching a tipping point, or we already passed it, past the point of no return? No, it's just that's the fundamental thing that's breaking down. People would, for example, they would watch this program and say, "Oh, this guy's a liberal. He's a liberal lefty. Look at him. He has long hair. He talks about climate change." No, but I don't. I talk about what I see. I talk about, you know, in politics, I think both parties are deeply corrupted. They work for the same people. I talk about that all the time. I'm neither for Trump nor against Trump. I just think that the you know, in that respect, I think the Democrats are worse in that they blatantly cheated their guy, Bernie Sanders. They blatantly cheated the front runner and went with the corporate dead guy, right? So you can't, how can you back something like that? How in your right mind do you think that backing a corrupt party, right? The thinking is this: oh, we'll side with the dirty Democrats who just stole our election from us, and we'll back them after they fucked us, after they stabbed us in the back, and down the road they'll turn around and they'll give us the favor for getting them elected. No, that's not what they do. That's not what they do. What they do is they use you like a cheap whore. And because they could use you, they take you and they throw you under the bus for the next time, for the next cheat. They don't need you. They don't want you. They want you to go away. They want you to comply. They want you to conform. They want compliance. How do you back somebody like that? How do you even get near somebody? How do you get near people like that without, you know, I mean, the only way is when they pay you $6 million a year to go on a major network and spew bullshit, like most of the mainstream media cats do. So, according to Fox News, thousands upon thousands of Trump supporters greet president in California. Oh boy!
Thing you can do.
Oh boy! What's this all about? Oh, look at
In 2016, you voted to fire this corrupt and decrepit political establishment, and you elected an outsider as president who is finally putting America first.
Yeah. Beautiful mountains. Nevada.
Joe Biden.
Look at all those patriots, man. Look at that shit. Fucking hope is alive, right? Everybody believes. Everybody believes. These are the awake masses. People waking up, man. The Trump hats are great Americans, right? American spirit. The American spirit is alive. It's dying in many respects, but other respects, it's advancing, right? That's what I see. That's what I see when I see this. I don't know how people. I don't understand the extreme left looks at this and sees racists and anti-Americans and fascists, and I just don't get it. You know, I see Americans. You have to go out and talk to people, and you'll find out. If you live in a bubble like New York, you would think that everybody is everybody outside of outside of New York is buck ass crazy. But when you talk to people, when you get out, if you don't have your head, again, if your head isn't deeply inserted up your own ass, you will find out that what you're thinking is actually very incorrect. And the people, these patriots too, a lot of them believe that the radical left is so far gone, Antifa so gone and so unworkable, and wants to tear the country down because they don't have enough exposure to them either. But if you balance it out, you realize that both crowds, both sides of the aisle, if you will, or both sides of this argument created by a fake news and Pentagon. Pentagon is a giant fucking think tank that invents ways to separate people so that they can keep people fighting amongst each other, so they take the focus off of the fact that they're ripping us off, that we're not a nation ruled by people, we're a nation ruled by large corporations. But I think that both sides, when you look at the Trump tried and true, and even the radical extreme left, the Antifas, they both not so much the anarchists, not the people mostly breaking shit just because they feel like breaking shit, but the people that are out there chanting Black Lives Matter, the tens of thousands of young people are not fucking racist. They're not. I don't even think that they think everybody is racist. But what I'm saying is that they all want the same thing. The Trump tried and true, and the far left or mid left, whatever you want to call it, the progressives, they all want a country of the people, by the people, for the people. They want to see violence decrease. They want to end the wars. They want an economy that works for everybody. They want affordable, if not free, health care. They want education that is not jaded. They want a media that doesn't lie to them. Everybody wants the same thing. Right? They want the same thing, but they have a different spin on how to get there. So anyway, meanwhile, Trump is packing the motherfucker. George's son. Most Americans don't even know what the Pentagon is. You're damn right, says George's son, who we don't even know who George is. But you're right. Most Americans don't know what the Pentagon is. It's a giant fucking cesspool think tank designed to the enemy is you. You're the enemy. And the object of the Pentagon is to get the enemy to comply, to get the enemy to believe a crock of shit, or believe that we have enemies abroad, that we have to keep this machine working and growing, and it's fueled by corporate power. That's what it is. It's fueled by corporate money. Without the profiteers pumping billions and trillions of dollars into the system, without the military-industrial complex, it would cease to exist. But and it should cease to exist. We should tear the motherfucker down, right? Tear the Pentagon down. So here we are on Earth. Let's find out what's going on in this latest push towards elections. Wow, 2 weeks away. Well, even fucking 2 weeks away to a presidential election. That's amazing, right? Wow, what times we're living in. We've been hearing for 4 years how Trump is colluding with the Russians. And they impeached him over Biden's emails and Biden talk. Right? Impeached the president over that. Trump got impeached over questioning the validity of the Joe Biden, Hunter Biden scam in the Ukraine. All right, and now we have new evidence to suggest that the people that were rolling that information out were actually correct. And one of those people is Steve Bannon, who I love. Steve Bannon behind Rollout Plan. I love Steve Bannon because he's very, very, very effective. Although they got him on some conspiracy charges, they're trying to throw him in jail. I would fucking hope if anybody that Trump gets gives a get out of jail free card, it would be Steve Bannon. I think Steve Bannon knows that too. No matter how much they prosecute him, he won't sit in jail. Trump will get him out because he can and he should. But Steve Bannon behind Rollout Plan for Hunter Biden emails says multiple stories from multiple media sources about to hit. So October surprise. And it's no surprise. This happens every October. That's why they call it the October surprise. So this is what the Democrats have been, this is what the Republican Party, the Republican strategists like Steve Bannon and Giuliani have been sitting on for a while. They have this laptop that allegedly, apparently, possibly, almost definitely has Joe Biden's and Hunter Biden's info on it. They say there's some kiddie porn on there. But there's plans and plots and discussions about how Joe Biden knew everything about Burisma and knew everything about the deal in Ukraine to get the guy with the authority that was prosecuting Burisma, getting that guy fired, that prime minister guy. And Biden was effective at doing that, and he denied it all. And that's precisely what Trump was saying. That was Trump's initial argument, and for that, they impeached him for interfering in that by having a conversation with the president of Ukraine at the time, which is totally ridiculous. To ask the president of Ukraine, can you kindly look into this corruption? That's what it was. Trump said, look into this corruption, please. It's not extortion. It's not quid pro quo. We give you so much money. Can you kindly help us out? We're trying to drain the swamp. And for that, Trump was impeached. But now that we have, mounting evidence, just like with Hillary Clinton with the fake email, with her fucking bullshit emails, right? All the deleting emails and quid pro quo, so much evidence, maybe even murder for hire with Hillary and Bill Clinton, right? With that doesn't seem to stop the Democrats, even with a mounting pile of evidence, a pile of fucking shit a mile high on Joe Biden's head. It still doesn't change anything. They still continue, right? So may the games begin. I hope Steve Bannon and Giuliani dumped the largest bag of fucking bucket of shit on Biden's head, where it should be, and we can wrap this up. So to review, last month's New York Post set off a nuclear bomb when they released evidence from the younger Biden's hard drive obtained by Rudy Giuliani. It's always shady when you say, "Oh, fucking Rudy Giuliani pulled it out his ass." After a computer repair shop owner initially approached the FBI, which appears to have concealed evidence of Biden family corruption in Ukraine and elsewhere, while President Trump was being impeached for asking Ukraine to investigate exactly that. That's right. That is right. They are giving you the smoking gun evidence. Mr. Bannon and Mr. Giuliani are giving you the smoking gun evidence, allegedly. Let's see it. Put it out there so we could see it, or at least a little better, that Joe Biden was, in fact, deeply involved with this bullshit. Here's the deal. Does this change anything? Does this story change the opinion of many? No. It solidifies the division, because the people that believe the story are going to dig deeper into saying, see, the other side is corrupt. And the side that is corrupt, in this case, the Democratic side that is corrupt, is going to say, see, they're just on a witch hunt. They're totalitarian. They're authoritarian. They're dictators. They're fascists. And they want to silence us. They want to make up fake stories and label us kooks and crazies. So both sides win. Now, what does the independent side say? What does the people in the middle say? People like me, for example, I look at it and I laugh. I say, oh my God, look at them. The Russia stuff was such nonsense. This is such nonsense. They're all kind of they all kind of work for the same people. Right? So does this story move the ball at all? Maybe a little bit towards Trump, I would say. A little bit. I don't think you're going to win. You're not going to win over the fascist tried and true, wearing a black baseball hat and roaming the streets, breaking shit, screaming, "Get the fascist out of the White House." You're not going to change his mind. Are you going to change, Jane and John and Jane in the middle of the country, who they're on the fence about voting and they don't really know. They think that things are not going as well as they should. Something's not right. And taxes went up a little bit. Our local taxes and such. And what's better? Maybe Biden, maybe Trump. And then they hear a story like this, and they may break for Trump. They may stay with Trump because he is the president. I'm not backing off the fact that I think Trump wins the election, but can he survive the cheat? I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say because the Democrats are there's a lot of money. I mean, they went to the extreme of impeaching a president. They made up a fake story about Russia, and so many other stories. So much other bullshit. Right? So that's that. We'll continue with that. I don't want to get into this COVID-19 scam shit. Right? Still think this is an idea? San Francisco free speech marchers, police violently attacked by Antifa. So let's just go back into the grind. Oh, let's see if Joe Biden.com. No, I'm sorry. I want to find out Antifa because Antifa doesn't exist, they say. Antifa doesn't exist. And I just typed in Antifa.com and I still land on Joe Biden's website. Just for the record, we're 2 weeks before an election. And Joe Biden and the rest of the dirty Democrats are saying that Antifa is just an idea. It doesn't exist. It is just a concept. And meanwhile, it's been fingered as, being part of tearing New York City down, breaking every fucking window in downtown Manhattan, causing the economy to shift, causing the economies to shut down, the looting still going on. I did go to Soho the other day. I was standing in Soho. I was standing by the Apple store on Prince Street, and I did observe security guards outside of Polo, standing, looking at the street, watching, with a radio, talking to somebody. He's talking, and that is a direct response to looters jumping out of cars, getting out of a car, parking a car in front of Polo, going in, and rounding up with 3 or 4 or 5 people and grabbing very, very expensive shit and heading right back out the door. And that's what those security guards are doing. I did see it. I saw the security guards. I didn't speak to them, but I know what they're doing because I know what they're doing. I read the article. I saw and why else, and that's something that you never seen before. Why are security guards standing outside of the fucking store watching the street? And that's what they're watching for. They're watching for hoodlums, mobs of hoodlums. So this is Antifa.com, or is it JoeBiden.com? I don't know, man. It's the same. But the liberal left will not acknowledge that Antifa exists. Trump won't acknowledge that white supremacy exists, or white supremacists, or whatever the fuck exists. It's best to just acknowledge it, right? So a free speech rally organized by conservatives was overrun by several hundred counter-protesters. Look at this guy. Punk punches, left hook, knocks this guy's fucking teeth out. Watch this. You got to kill people like this. You gotta fight back, man. You don't let somebody punch you like that. You take that motherfucker and you put his head between the bars, right? Learn how to fight. Don't learn how to take a punch. Learn how to fight. Walk up to him and say, "Son, I'm very sorry. I want to give you a hug," and then hit him under the chin and knock his head back on, and let him hit the ground. Right? It's fucked up. When you see stuff like this, it's just blatant violence. That's a black dude too, right? Oh, he's black and he's Trump, and it's no joke. Look at his fucking tooth, man. They say he got his one tooth knocked out. I think that other one's pretty much fucking hanging. It's a hangnail right there. You should pull that shit out. Knocked his fucking two teeth out. An Epoch Times report. I don't like them. Epoch Times. That's the radical Chinese defectors, the Falun Gong people. A number of individuals from the counter-protester group physically attacked conservatives, including event organizer Philip Anderson, who lost a front tooth after he was punched in the mouth. Man, One man, and what was he wearing? He's like, oh shit, that's fucked up, man. That's a hard loss right there. You lost your front teeth, man. You got to get some new teeth. I hope maybe Trump will buy him some new teeth. One man wearing a Trump T-shirt had to be taken away in an ambulance after being attacked. I don't know how true any of this is, but you definitely saw the punch. They're definitely Antifa. They're definitely the pricks, the same jack-offs, same cowards that, you know, look at that, man. Punched a guy in the fucking mouth, man. All right. And knocked this poor bastard on his ass. Listen, man, learn how to fight. Learn how to fight or carry something. Carry a stick. And here's the cocksucker that did it. A police officer also had to be taken to the hospital. Now, you got quite a number of people behind you. That's why, you know what, if you can't fight, carry a cane. Just say, you know, when the police show up, say, oh, my leg. And then, but that's your cane is your weapon. Just like with Antifa, your weapon is your skateboard or your bicycle helmet. They swing those bicycle helmets at people, you know, and carry something. A photographer working for the Associated Press who also witnessed an injured San Francisco police officer on the ground by San Francisco's United Nations Plaza. See if there's any more video. Well, this is not very unusual video for these times. People fighting in the street because the systems are breaking down, as I said. Is it a result? Have you ever seen this kind of behavior before this year? Where people are so radicalized that they can't even see straight, that they think that they're doing some sort of good by standing in front of police saying that the police are all bastards and antagonizing I can't really remember any time like this. I mean, I know peaceful protest, but that's not what this is. This is direct action. This is antagonistic nonsense. So is the planet dying? Is human existence, human societies breaking down? That guy's got a big ass gun. See, that's the kind of stick. That's the kind of stick. When somebody knocks your fucking tooth out, you take the stick and you clunk them on the head. Look at this, man. It just for being a patriot, just for having a rally and voicing your political opinion. She's wearing an American flag T-shirt with it looks like George Washington. She's got a good stick in her hand. An umbrella. If you get a big ass umbrella with a point, that's a good weapon too. If you use it correctly, you have to stab. You have to poke. You don't swing it. Poke. Is there anything? Oh, my fucking Trump lighter, man. Let me get the Trump lighter. All right, so team say I only clicked it once and now I see it all over the place. That's why I love the advertisements. So they made this guy into a martyr. Look at him. Oh man, look at my fucking tooth hanging out. That tooth is gold now. He's gonna get 2 gold fucking teeth, man. Somebody buy this motherfucker a tooth. Come on, man. Some of these rich Trump fucking dig some dollars out, man. Get him 2 gold teeth before the election, man. Have him up on the stage with you. Other scuffles broke out at the UN's National Plaza as well, with one video showing an alleged Antifa member hitting a person with something resembling a baseball bat. Whoa. According to local media. You got to shoot these motherfuckers. Let's see. Antifa.
Come with me. Man, fuck that.
So that's him when he still has his teeth.
This man's a sucker. You know that.
And all they want to do is get a picture. Look at all the media. Oh, the guy's about to get his teeth knocked out. And here's the motherfucker right here. What did he hit him with? Oh, punched him in the face. He punched him in the face from behind. What a coward. See, right there, once you know, and there, he knocked his tooth out. See, once you know you're about to get attacked, there's where he made the mistake, right? First of all, you got hit. There's nothing you can do about that. Get away from the violence. Jump over the divider. Don't wait for the next punch. Don't try to negotiate with criminals. Don't negotiate. You're surrounded. Jump over and take the fucking thing and Take the guy's head and stick it through the bars. What's up, everybody in the chat, man? Having a good time? Johnny Half says, my hiking stick is a half piece. It's a 5-foot pipe. Yeah, that's what you need. Walk the streets. If you're going to go to something like this, walk the streets with a pipe. This motherfucker lost his tooth. See, you get away. There's no shame in running when you're outnumbered like that. Ah, now's the place. Good. And there's the Antifa flag. There's no doubt about it. That's who it is. That's who's antagonizing it. Joe Biden says it doesn't exist. It's just an idea. It's just an idea, but there's the evidence right there. All right, there's the evidence. There is your evidence. What else we got? Cop got roughed up too. He was sprayed with some chemical. Assaulting a woman in attendance at a march for women is the epitome of hypocrisy and violence now. So this girl got a fat lip. This girl got a fat lip, man. Listen, stop being punching bags, Trump people. Stop being fucking punching bags. There's no glory in that, right? When someone punches you, especially when it's recorded on video, fucking hit them back, man. Hit them back and hit them hard. Become the aggressor. Become that chick tried that shit with me. You remember in the street, she tried to stick a mask in my face. I said, "Get this shit out of my face." The security guard came over. Get on your feet. Oh yeah, you're gonna come down on me. You better do it before I come down on you. Aggression. You got to do that. You got to save yourself. So there's some violence going on still. Now here's a story that is interesting and also totally ridiculous. Let's talk about the bug. Let's talk about the plague, the 2020 plague. Right? Johns Hopkins University researchers identify immune system pathway that may stop COVID-19 infection. Really? Let's find out. Now, this is scientific jargon, right? Bullshit. It's just whipped together. It's a bunch of geeks in a lab whipping shit together, saying that they found a blockage, a way to block the pathway. Let's see how true it is. Right? Blocking immune response. Now, this is bullshit. This is medical jargon. This is ineffectual pursuit. This is wrong action. This is wrong effort, not right effort. This is wrong effort because it doesn't, nowhere in these articles when you read them, do they ever tell people to get healthy, to lose weight, to exercise, to revive your body, to get off all the poison medications that you're taking. You can't come out and say, "Oh, we found the pathway that if we take this medication, we'll block the pathway of the virus so that it doesn't sink in, it doesn't hit the cells." It's fucking total nonsense. That's not how biology works. There's too many variables and there's too many counter actions to throwing poison into a body, expecting it to regenerate or to go the other way. Most medications don't work, is the point. Almost every spiritual practice does work. Almost every spiritual practice, the followers of a spiritual practice almost always inevitably become happy, become fearless, become content in their lives. Right? But here we go. Call this a giant rabbit hole. Hold on a second. I think I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. So let's call this the rabbit hole, the COVID rabbit hole. While the world awaits eagerly for a safe and effective vaccine to prevent the infection from severe acute respiratory syndrome, as COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2, the virus behind. Now, try not to go to sleep on this. Just try to follow it the best you can. Try to wrap your head around this because it's unwrappable. But just listen. The virus behind the only people that understand this kind of talk is scientists, academics that don't fucking have any. They've lost touch to reality. They don't even know what exercise is anymore. All they know is this is all they know. All right? Look under the microscope and try to figure it out. The virus behind the COVID-19 pandemic, researchers also are focusing on better understanding how SARS-CoV-2 attacks the body in the search for other means of stopping its devastating impact. The key to one possibility, blocking a protein that enables the virus to turn the immune system against healthy cells, has been identified in a recent study by a team of Johns Hopkins medicine researchers. Okay, so what they're doing in classic modern medicine form is they're looking for the Band-Aid. They're looking for that temporary fix, the temporary thing that they can throw into the body and temporarily hold on one second. I'm sorry. You want to hear me blow my nose? Welcome to live television where there's no cuts, there's no edits. We just keep going. If you blow your nose, you got to fucking blow your nose, man. You can't just keep going on with no blood, with no nose blow, right? So while the world eagerly awaits a safe, effective vaccine to prevent infections from severe acute respiratory, I think I just read that. Based on their findings, the researchers believe that inhibiting the protein known as the factor D also will curtail the potential deadly inflammatory reactions that many patients have to the virus. Okay, so there you go. It makes no distinction of healthy versus unhealthy people, unhealthy human, unhealthy specimen. Are you going to say that you would use this same approach on, let's give an example, maybe a 280-pound obese 6-foot man. He's obese. He's about 100 pounds overweight. He has diabetes. He has high blood pressure. He's borderline renal failure. He's a candidate for dialysis. He's got a little bit of emphysema, COPD going on. Guy's falling the hell apart. Right? He's in his 50s like me. Totally falling apart. And then you take me standing next to him who has no ailments, doesn't even have an ache and pain anymore. All his aches and pains are gone. Almost perfect clarity most of the time when I'm not walking around in the park. Clarity, awareness, connection. You're going to compare me to that fat slob, and you're going to say, you're going to compare, we're the same study. You're going to give us this Fugazi pill or whatever with that blocks of protein somewhere in the body, and you're going to say that we're going to have the same reaction to that? That's ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. The point is that it overlooks so many factors. And I think for me, I was a clinical nutritionist. I was a dietitian. And I had the opportunity, the privilege of studying healthcare very young in my life. I'm like 16, 17 years old. I was very drawn to the subject of nutrition. And the part of it that I never got was the spiritual part of it, which I learned in later life. But you can combine those things. But I forgot what I was going to say. But the point is that when you study these things, you realize that's what I wanted to say. You realize the holes in the research. That so much of this research is flawed. Even the vaccines. There's no guarantee. The likelihood is that people that take that vaccine that are already sick, like the fat example that I just gave you, guy where his whole body is falling apart, gets sicker. In atmospheres like this, see, things don't turn around until you turn it around. Sick people that are still catering to the sickness, still wearing a mask, distance, fear. They don't know how to breathe. They don't know how to exercise. They're hiding in their house. They're eating poorly. They're listening to doctors' orders, swallowing these ridiculous medications, sometimes 4, 5, and 6 of them at a time, that all have interactions with each other, all canceling each other out, and never told that if you can, you're sick because you're not well, and you can get well, but only you can do it. Only you can turn your life around. Now, that sounds like a crazy infomercial, like hippy dippy shit. I get it. I understand that, and I'll go through that. I mean, I'll let you have that on me to say, oh, this guy's This guy's a hippy dippy. This guy is he's into like that spiritual shit, man. He's like totally, man. This fucking guy's like smoke the hookah instead of sit out in the park with the hippies. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that basic common sense tells us that a healthy human being is superior. Someone who is taking action for themselves and building their body and their immune system and building their mind and is way more advantageous over the fat slob that is sitting around waiting for people to help him. He's waiting for a doctor to tell him what to do. He's waiting for a lawyer to tell him what to do. He's waiting for God to speak. Right? And so when you see research like this, I'm not going to read it all because it's stupid. Right? But it's Johns Hopkins University. They're going to find a protein that you can take that's going to block the bug from getting to the cells. Right? Okay. All right. Great. But anyway, so and on that same note, Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine rolls off production line amid hopes for emergency approval. Oh boy. Oh boy. You wanted it, right? What's up with the cat getting a pedicure? Oh, that's fucking cool. It's just the cat is giving the woman a pedicure. It's awesome, man. Here, kitty. That's awesome, man. So you can put your pets to work. Right? 4-month-old kitten helped her owner smooth over a woman's fingernails. Interesting. So Pfizer has released footage of a potential coronavirus vaccine rolling off the production line as the drug giant aims to have 100 million doses ready by the end of the year. Oh, so you can call that done, right? They got the vaccine, right? Oh boy, hey, ha, hoo, ha, vaccine. We got a protein. I never a mention of even in this scenario, right? So you're going to give the same dose to the healthy person and the unhealthy person, and you expect to have the same result. You expect their bodies to function the same. Ridiculous. The sick are going to get sicker with all these medications, and the healthy are getting healthier. That is the death that's occurring right now. You can maybe the healthy people, maybe you don't want to get healthy because you figure everything's fucked anyway. So why not just go down with the ship? I say it's the opposite. I think that in environments like this, the strong will survive. Who the hell knows how long? If the planet shifts off axis and you're outside and the sun itself is radioactive. I'm outside all the time. I had my shirt off yesterday, fucking dancing around outside, right? Doing yoga outside, right? Because you need to get the sun. You need to hit that sun. But if the planet has shifted off axis, maybe I'm exposing myself to radiation, and that's why I'm so clear, and that's why I'm so happy and so content, and so understanding. Where's the evidence that I've done I'll make me the example. I've done everything the exact opposite of the official narrative. Everything. I wear a mask only because I have to. If I want to get on the train, if I want to go into the supermarket, I have to wear it because of the lunacy that's all around us here. And I'm fine with that. I figured it out. I got a very thin little piece of cloth. It's not, my nose is usually out, so I'm breathing through my nose while I got the stupid thing on. And then, so I skated around that one. 6 feet apart. Look, I don't, if someone wants to be 6 feet away from me, that's fine. Make it 10 feet. Stay the fuck away from me. Because I only want to be around people that I want to be around anyway. So that's not really affecting me. But anyway, so cross your fingers and be happy. Look, it's coming. Oh boy, look, the needles. Five happy needles are ready to stick you. Manhattan-based company told the Mail on Sunday that it has already made several 100,000 doses of the drug as it prepares to seek emergency use in the United States. So they're trying to skate around the FDA. We don't have an FDA anymore. They just want to get that shit out there. They want to get that shit out there because that's the excuse they can use to open up everything and make people feel safe after spending the last year making them terrified of everybody. Right, but I don't think I finished the point. Is that back to myself? Is that I have done everything wrong. I have done everything against the official narrative. I don't wear a mask. I am out every single day. I don't distance myself unless I don't like you, or you smell, or I think you're violent. It's just, I refuse any medications whatsoever. I haven't seen a doctor in I don't know how long, years. It's probably like 2 years, maybe longer. I don't remember the last time. I think it was when I was working for a city agency, and I needed a letter. I needed a sick note. Like I had to go. I was forced. But other than that, you won't see me at the doctor. Unless I need surgery, unless like I break my arm and I need some skilled guys to put it back together. That's different. That's where you need a doctor, like repair. You trip, you fall, you break a finger, they get in there, and they brace it for you, right? You need repair guys, right? That's what medicine should be, right? Fucking repair, or like the incident with my tooth. My tooth was loose. I go to a dentist. They send me to another dentist. Another dentist. You know what? I said, "Oh, go fuck yourself," right? And I just ordered the tool myself, and I did it myself. It was a simple extraction that I did it, right? I'm not recommending that you do your own tooth extraction, but I did. Because I don't know, it didn't seem that it was already loose. It was wiggling, and I just got the right forceps, the right tool, the tool that the dentists use. Watched a couple of videos, and I learned how to actually extract a tooth. I could do it on someone else very easily, but I did it to myself. I did it on myself. And so everything wrong. Oh, germs. Oh, you're going to pull your own tooth out and get germs. Okay, show me the evidence of that. Where? I'm fine. It worked. Right? It worked. I took care of myself. I took care of myself. So we'll wait for the Pfizer to roll out their vaccines. So look at this. So on the note of people getting or dying from COVID-19, casket outside Brooklyn nursing home filled with 6,500 covers of Cuomo's book. So the observation is that Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, forced many people that were sick at the time, that were infectious at the onset when the planet shifted, and a lot of people got sick. A lot of people. I say it's a reaction to the medications. That is my understanding of what happened. That people are on these medications because they're sick, they're unhealthy. Then they start the regimen of medications and they get sicker. They get other ailments. It's like it's a domino effect. Once you get into that loop, you only have a few years left of life. And with this cataclysmic shift that I think occurred, right, you then have the ailments exemplify, amplify. Right? You have medications, right, and sickness, throwing medicine, throwing poison at the sickness. And then there's some kind of atmospheric shift, and whether it's radiation or whatever, and you got the perfect storm for people to get very sick. They start to react to those drugs. They start to react to their own decrepit body. And a lot of those people are going to die. I feel that that's what's going to happen. I think that there's no evidence that it turned around. There's just evidence that there was a pause, and that the next wave of illness will wipe them out. So you might see a lot of people. The pandemic, is it the result of a virus? Well, maybe in part, but that was inevitable. That something would come along and prey on sick people. Some virus would stem up. But if you're not sick, you rise above. You rise up. But here's some people. I just want to drill that home because it is something that I think about often. A silver casket was wheeled out to the front of a Brooklyn nursing home Sunday. And 6,500 copies of Cuomo's book were dumped in protest of his COVID-19 policies. Now, I've seen mixed numbers between 5,000. The Hasidic Orthodox Jewish community says that Cuomo killed about 11,000 people by stuffing sick people into the nursing homes where people are the most vulnerable. They're on medications. They have all kinds of ailments and symptoms, and they're on their way out. They're on the deathbed, right? They've, karma, right? You don't have to be there, by the way. I mean, I'll tell you the story. I remember one guy, right? This guy, Noel Johnson, who I ran the New York City Marathon with. I was 19 years old. He was 86. I didn't run it with him, but I was there, and he was a celebrity, and I was a young guy, and I met him. I met him at the starting line, and we talked, and he was a nice old guy, right? He was surrounded by people because everybody knew who he was, but we actually talked, and I ran with him for maybe a mile or two, and at 86, maybe 15 years before that, he was terminally ill in a nursing home, right? He couldn't hold his piss or his shit. He was shitting himself. He was overweight. His blood levels were all over the place. And he made the decision to leave and get well. And he started in with the supplements, and he started to run. And 15 years, or maybe even less, he started to run marathons. Marathons, not fast, but 6 hours. Guy is up running. Fucking guy was deemed dead. And now at 86, he was running marathons. That's the transformation that you see. And when you see that in people, that guy is unstoppable. That guy has had a spiritual shift. Something clicked, and he got it. He's like, oh, wow, I'm going to die. And what am I afraid of? I'm afraid of a little pain, a little discomfort to get well. Yeah, exercise is tough, but that's it. But then it becomes wonderful. It becomes something so sought after that you love it. Like, oh man, I'm going to go out and run 5 miles, and I'm going to feel that chi kick in. I'm going to feel my body come alive again, my mind clear. I'm going to align myself. Sick people don't understand that. They don't know what it is. And a lot of people don't know that there's a spiritual component of that as well. Spiritual, mental, physical, mental, spiritual. You build yourself up physically first, and then suddenly your mind clicks, your mind clears, and then from there you advance spiritually. I believe that that's the pattern. I might be wrong, and there might be other ways to it, but spiritual, mental, physical, mental, and then spiritual. That's how we wake up. Right? So I forgot what I was reading here. So these guys are, just current events. These people are protesting Andrew Cuomo's retarded approach to the COVID-19 pandemic here in New York, the mistake that he fails to admit, that where he took thousands of sick people, not knowing what it was, and jamming them into nursing homes and killing them. And the medical profession itself intubating using a respirator to solve the COVID-19 problem in people without looking at the fact that it wasn't working. That when you intubate someone and try to up their oxygen level, every time they intubated someone, the oxygen level would go down. That tells you stop doing what you're doing. You've wrongly identified the problem. Something else is going on. Something else is going on. It's a chemical reaction, in my view. That's what it is. That's what it is. Why is their lungs filling up with liquid? What the fuck is going on? What is going on with people? I get that too. I get that little symptom once in a while. Where I don't know if it's universal or other people are experiencing it, but sometimes when I lay down on my back flat, I find myself coughing. I find myself loading up with like phlegm. Now, I've never experienced that before this year, or maybe a year or two ago, where I sleep on my side now. It doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does happen, and I observe it. I'm like, why is that happening? What's different about that? How can I correct that? How can I make that? How can I improve that? And the way to improve it is work on your breathing. Go outside and run up a fucking hill, or climb a tree, or balance for an hour. That's how you solve the problem. So anyway, man, my thinking is, if you're watching this and you dig it and you dig what I'm saying, right? This is all I know, man. This is what I do. Right? So good morning, everybody in the chat. I'm wearing my Manc shirt, by the way. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So what's up, everybody? Bebop in the house. Dead Game is here. Farm Cat. The unpronounceable Russian name, Dendrite. Russell Whitey. Martin Graffita. Ban everything. Weevil Girls here. Bebop's here. Vinny DiMartini. What's up? George's son is here. Dead Game. Bill West, my brother. Farm Cat. Hey, Johnny Half. Andrew G is here. Thomas Robinson. What's up, Thomas? I read all your comments. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate your support, your ongoing support. So there's a lot of people here, man. And for those of you who are too shy to speak, hello. Hello, live from New York City. But not for long. I'll always be live. I'll always be here for you. Maybe just not in my mother's basement. So COVID-19, right? I just told you what it is, right? What's the psychological effects? I said right away that when you distance people that don't know how to be alone, when you put a mask on, you constrict the exchange of gases, the CO2, carbon dioxide, and the oxygen levels. When you start fucking with their medications, when you start poking them with vaccines, when you inundate them with fear, when you fail to tell them that the real problem is the underlying ailments, your heart disease, you're fat, you're diabetic. When you lie to people like that, the side effect is suicide and depression. Now, this article suggests that Hong Kong sees alarming rise in suicide and depression among young people. While projections about millions of confirmed COVID-19 deaths piled up in the U.S., Europe, and elsewhere, have proven, that's not good English, by the way. Europe and elsewhere have proven to be wildly off. Doctors warned that lockdowns would cause severe trauma to the entire population. Portending a spike in portending. What the fuck is portending? What is portending? What is portending? Be a sign, a warning. Why don't you just say that? A warning, a spike in suicide and other so-called deaths of despair, as a group of scientists warned in an open letter a month ago. Remember that letter? That was 500 doctors. I remember this. 500 doctors write to Trump warning lockdown will cause more death. That was already back in May. I was screaming from the rooftops as well, saying that that's what's going to happen because people don't know how to be alone. They don't know how to live without being told what to do. You take away their job, the job that they've been going to every day for 20 years. They're like you're programmed, right? You're totally programmed. I'm not saying that work is it's just that when people lose that, when they lose that position, I don't want to sound like a regular job where you show up every day is bad. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that people that lost their routine are addicted to that routine. They're addicted to other things as well. But when you lose that, you suffer withdrawal. You suffer that you don't know what you're doing, right? Suddenly you're not the breadwinner anymore. Suddenly your living situation is horrible. You all you did was work, and then you rented this room with some crazy person that you don't even like, or you're living with someone that you can't stand, and you suddenly are locked away with them every day, and you lose your fucking mind. You suicide, depression, homelessness. You walk the streets like I can't go back there. This is happening. It's happening all over the world. But although deaths from COVID-19 have remained roughly stable, even as cases and hospitalizations have returned to or exceeded their highs from the spring, suicides, drug overdoses, and not to mention deaths from untreated underlying medical conditions are all on the rise. Maybe I am a prophet. Maybe I am a psychic. Maybe I called this shit. Right? I said it. I said that that's what would happen, that the sick would get sicker, and that the awake would inherit the earth. Now that SCMP reports that Hong Kong is in the grip of an alarming rise in the number of young people struggling with emotional distress and suicidal Another fucking word. Okay, I'm going to write to Zero Hedge and tell them stop using words that nobody knows what they mean, that I don't know what they mean. Identation, the formation of an idea. Why don't you just say that? Suicidal ideas. While a rise, young people struggling with emotional distress and suicidal ideas. While a rise in the suicide rate that predate COVID-19 appears to have gotten worse. Yes, it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse. It's gotten worse. So people are killing themselves in Hong Kong. Oh, they got other problem too. They got that the political problem where China's got their boot on every young person's throat. If you speak out, boom, you disappear. They disappear you into Beijing, the bowels of fucking China. They put you up in Wuhan. They fucking use you as a guinea pig, man. They pull your nails out and they fucking spray you down with some COVID shit. You can become experimental. Well, they just chop you up and use your organs for people that are worthy of living. Chop shop. Whatever the cause, 3 health organizations in the territory warned that they were seeing a wave of young adults struggling with severe depression, assessing their services. The Samaritans, a suicide prevention charity, said more than 70% of those using its email service were students, ranging from primary school to university level. So 70% of young people are losing their minds, jumping out windows, killing themselves. They don't see any hope. And also that's a breeding ground for people to join the military, people to join radical organizations, people to take up arms just to become anarchists because it's fun. That's why you talk to anarchists, right? Like people leading the Antifa movement. They're not politically motivated. The ones that I've talked to, the ones that I've pulled aside and said, "Hey, man, you having a good time?" Like they're out in the street and they're going fucking crazy, right? They're breaking shit. They're on a bicycle or they're riding a skateboard and they're crashing shit. And you get to know them. You just talk to them a little bit. They don't know that you're a reporter because there's nothing to indicate that that's who you are. You're just some guy, walking around. Because when I'm out and I'm doing something like that, you don't know who I am. You don't know what I'm doing. I'm invisible unless my camera's out. And when I'm doing that, my camera's not out. But most anarchists are not politically motivated. They just like to break shit. Anarchists, they'll tell you, say like, I don't know, it's just fun. I feel like I'm behind something. I'm part of something. So the more you promote this COVID, disaster, and the more the planet shifts, the more of this you're going to see. People struggling with severe depression or suicide. Right? That's a cop out. Never kill yourself. Right? Why kill yourself? Why do that? I never. That's. I mean, I can understand it in the grip of addiction. A long time ago, once upon a time, I actually saw that. I looked down the barrel of death, and stood on the platform and said, "Oh, well, if I just jump in front of the train, this pain, this constant, this agony that I was in, this wrong use of will would end." I get it. I never did it. I never killed myself because I'm still here, and I'm glad I am. But looking back on it now, it's like, no way. I understand it, but is it organic? Is it inherent depression and suicide? I don't think so. I think it's societal, and it's learned, and it's 100% reversible. But nonetheless, that's what we're looking at right now. Look at this. I was looking at one of these things. It's a monocular. A monocular. You can attach this to a phone, and you can make your phone a high-powered fucking scope, 300 times. They got an adapter. It sticks out in front of the camera, and so you turn this shit right on with the camera, and you got 300 times zoom, man. Very interesting, right? I was thinking about getting one of those things. But all of the evidence seems to suggest that the rate in 2020 will be significantly higher. So this article predicts that the suicide rates and the rate of despair among young people, not just in Beijing, not just in Hong Kong, but all over the world, is only going to increase as we move forward. Tough titty, right? A truly Orwellian culture. Amazon removes COVID skeptics' book for violating content guidelines. You're not allowed to speculate about this stuff. I don't know. We're still here. I'm still green, right? Maybe they'll knock the ad down. I don't fucking know. But I don't know. Or am I allowed to say this? Has Conte found a way to skate on thin ice? Am I skating on thin ice by pointing out these incredibly obvious things? Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so the skeptic's book that I didn't read, around the time Twitter purged the New York Post's bombshell story about Hunter Biden from its platform late last week, Amazon was busy censoring any criticism against the official COVID-19 narrative with the banning of at least one book from its Amazon book store. Now, this is great because now you want to go find the book. Political writer James Perloff's latest book, COVID-19 and the Agendas to Come, Red Pill, was removed from Amazon on Thursday. Bad news. After selling over 3,500 copies for Amazon since publication, that's not a lot. 3,500. That's numbers, but it's not a lot. It's not like 50 grand, 50,000. Publication, that's not even break even at this point. Since publication on August 20, Amazon has banned my book, COVID-19 and the blah, blah, blah. Individual orders can still be placed at Perloff tweeted. Can still be placed. So you can still buy his book, but you just can't buy it on Amazon. So Amazon, the giant tech company, the giant tech company that their stock has quadrupled during this fucking pandemic, where Jeff Bezos made an extra $50 billion. His wealth is just, bubbling. Not $50 billion, but I think he made an extra $18 billion or $20 billion. Jeff Bezos, the CEO for Amazon, made all this crazy extra money. Says that we can't talk down about COVID-19. We can't talk it down. We can't give people a possible other opinion.
Welcome back to Cheddar, everyone. Day 2 of Amazon Prime Day, but Walmart and Target, they're getting in on the competition with online deals of their own. These sales come just about a month ahead of Black Friday, traditionally considered the start of the...
I don't know what that guy's talking about, but I'm not really interested. So Perloff spoke with the RT News. We're not going to talk about RT News because they suck. They censor people. If you play their clip, they fucking chop you down, man. They were nice enough to... Anyway, we are in truly Orwellian culture, he warned. Perloff, that in his book, right? Yeah, we are. But before we could finish gathering the material required to prove once again that he owned the global rights to his own work, he received another email from Amazon, this time claiming they had removed the book, quote, during a quality assurance review of his catalog because it violated content guidelines. So there's Amazon jumping on the bandwagon, filtering out information. Don't talk about the ineffectiveness of a vaccine that is possible, or making yourself healthier, or a conspiracy to see unhealthy people die off so that governments don't have to take care of them anymore. These are things that are observable with your own eyes. You just open your eyes and you see them. And even Amazon is suggesting that we can't talk about these things. So Twitter silences top Trump COVID task force expert. Again, there we go. So social media companies and mainstream media outlets are on a crusade, censoring anyone who challenges the official science and narrative behind COVID-19 virus. You never hear anything about the planet shifting either. They just keep screaming, they are saying, ice caps are melting and all that, but nothing that has changed human behavior. I've never heard anybody peep a thing about that. I think I'm the only one saying it, that consciousness has shifted. You call it crazy, you call it suicidal, you call it desperation, you call it depression. I call it a cosmic shift. Right? That that people are reacting to something unknown, that there's a higher force going on. I just never hear people, frame it that way. Social media companies, mainstream media companies, instead are on a crusade censoring anyone who challenges the official science and narrative behind COVID-19 virus. It was only last week when Twitter removed the New York Post's bombshell. So what exactly? I don't know what this article is. So this guy said, apparent expert, White House advisor Scott Atlas said, masks work? Question. No. L.A., Miami, Hawaii, Alabama, France, Philippines, UK, Spain, Israel, WHO, widespread use not supported, and many harms, despite decades considerably uncertain I don't know what the fuck this is talking about, but this guy is talking about this expert got silenced. Let's see what he says. See his tweet. Maybe we'll try to make some sense out of this shit. Scott W. Atlas. That means the right policy is Donald J. Trump guidelines. Use masks for their intended purpose. When close to others, especially high risk. Otherwise, social distance. No widespread mandates. Right. That's bad to say. Use the mask as intended. Well, it's intended to protect surgeons and protect people in surgery from the surgeons. That's what it's, really, or in infectious disease wards, where there's provable viruses that can be blocked by a mask. COVID-19 is not one of them. It's just an excuse. It's just an austerity measure, if you care to believe anything else. So on Thursday, I'm way into this, man. We're on the 2-hour phrase now. How's everybody doing in the chat, man? Take a little break, man. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for sticking with us, man. Wow, man. We are moving. We are still talking. So this cunt right here, excuse me. This cunt right here, Kristen Welker, upcoming presidential debate moderator, has deep Democrat ties. Katie Couric, whatever that lady's name was, right? The chick that attacked Trump at the town hall. I tried to humiliate him while he totally humiliated her. Was also a Democrat with deep Democratic ties. You see the pictures of her with Obama. There it is. There's the shot. So there is Chris. This is the debate, and Biden has said he will show up, and Trump will show up. So Thursday night. Wow, man! Talk about a clash. You talk about a debate. The last one got 80 million views. So we'll see. Maybe this one will outdo that one. Can it go over 100 million people watching? I think it can, because Trump is bringing the goods. Trump is bringing the fight. But it's gonna be 2-on-1 because he's got Christine Welker, the cunt, who's in bed with the Democratic Party, has only risen from the ash because of her ties with the Democratic Party. She's in bed with here you go. What more evidence do you need? Do you take a smiley picture with someone who a smiley shot with someone who, what the fuck happened to my picture? I gotta get it. I gotta watch an advertisement for Farmers Insurance. Cunt. Let's see if it ends. I want to see the other pictures, man. I want to see the other pictures. What's this? Oh yeah, here she is. Here she is grilling Trump. There's the picture. Sorry. So there she is with Obama. Welker with her mother and father. Where's Welker? Where is she? She's not even in the picture. That's her mother and father supporting Biden. Here she is leaning over to take a jab at Trump in the Oval Office. And this is going to be her job. She's going to be up there. They're going to give her the full steam ahead. She gets to pick the questions. So let's look. All eyes are turning to NBC's News White House correspondent Christine Welker as she prepares to host the third and final presidential debate Thursday. President Trump and Joe Biden will square off at Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. I love Nashville. In a 90-minute debate starting at 9 p.m. 9 p.m., man. Love Nashville. I was there. I visited. It's a fucking beautiful place, man. Love it. I was a scooter all up and down, uptown, downtown. Love that place. I think I remember it, too. I think if I went there again, I would be pretty comfortable in Nashville. Welker, 44, has been the White House correspondent at NBC News since 2011 after working as a news reporter in Rhode Island. But Trump supporters who took issue with hard questions by previous moderators like Chris Wallace and Savannah Guthrie may find themselves pinning for those combative hosts after Welker is done with the president. What does that mean, New York Post? Welker comes from an established Democratic family who have poured cash into the party coffers and to Trump opponents for years. Yeah. No, it's not biased, right? No. It's just she's going to just do her job and ask regular questions. Her mother, Julia Welker, a prominent real estate broker in Philadelphia, and father, Harvey Welker, a consulting engineer, have donated tens of thousands of dollars to the Democratic candidates and close to $20,000 to Barack Obama alone. Well, yeah, there's that too. People give money to political campaigns, but the fact that she is a shill, that she is, what comes out of her mouth is totally pro-establishment and anti-Trump. Everything she says, the little that you can stomach of her when you watch. There's more. There was also $3,300 for Biden's 2020 campaign and $2,100 for Hillary Clinton. $7,300 was contributed to the DNC. So she's totally in bed with the Democrats. So Trump needs to, he knows what he's getting himself into. We saw the clip. Here he is. Let's watch Trump again say it.
Probably the greatest night in the history of television, right? That was, we had so much fun. The tears that were flowing out of pure. Remember the tears? From the totally non-biased anchors. We have another one of them coming up next week, Kristen Welker. She deleted her entire account. I wonder why. I can't imagine. I've known her for a long time. She's extraordinarily unfair, but that's all right. We did very well the other night with a person I knew was even more unfair, Savannah. In fact, nobody's seen Savannah for 2 days. What happened to Savannah? What happened to Savannah? They said, we'd like to give Savannah Guthrie. I said, that's all right. What difference does it make? They ask you a question, you give them an answer, right? It doesn't matter. But she was sort of jumping out of her seat. She was like flying for her. She was like...
No, Trump knows what he's in for is the point.
I told you. I said, I don't care what you told me. What does that mean? No, but we actually got A+ marks on that, but it was very unfair. And then you watch Sleepy Joe get interviewed by George Stephanopoulos, nice guy, but he's a tough guy. And he's tough. I interviewed with him 2 weeks ago. Who's tough? He's given like these lobs, like in slow motion, lobs.
Softball.
No, it's unfair. But you know what? It's so unfair, and we're president, and they're not. Right? That's how unfair.
Yeah. So Trump knows what time it is. He better be on guard. Maybe he should do something funny, like wear a sword, or have a can of bullshit repellent, do something funny, Trump. Do something funny. So that's what we got for Thursday. It's going to be very exciting. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There's no chance that Trump is going to get a fair exchange. Of course, the concern is always which Joe Biden will show up. Will it be the articulate, energized Biden who just got shot up with some kind of mood-altering substance? Or will it be Sleepy Joe, the guy you see out on the trail falling asleep and with his mask on and his shades and he's repeating the same thing over and over and he doesn't know what state he's in. And he thinks his sister is his mother and his mother is his wife. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He's senile. So are we going to get the senile Joe Biden? Or are we going to get the combative Joe Biden? Or are we going to get that he's going to try the compassionate Joe Biden? Come on, man. Which Joe Biden we're going to get? We know which Trump we're going to get. We always get the same Trump. So here's the topics selected for October 22 presidential debate. Biden has confirmed he will be at the final presidential debate, but says Trump should have to take a COVID test. Yeah, right. So Trump has taken a COVID test, according to the doctors at the White House. So, Joe, what are you talking about? Let's give you a drug test. Why don't you succumb to the drug test that Trump wants to give? You get on stage and you both go back, you take the piss test, and then you come back out, and then you have the commentator read the results. Well, you want to do that? Let's try that, because that'll be interesting. Topics for these, or do a COVID test, right? Do the COVID test live. Trump will do that. Trump will 100%. Topics, but who can we trust? Who's going to do the test? Right? Let's let the Democrats do the test. That'll work. I guarantee you Trump will have COVID and Joe Biden won't. Topics of the second presidential debate have been announced by Kristen Welker, an NBC anchor, who will serve as the moderator. Well, what's she going to ask? Oh boy, what a surprise. Oh my God, how surprising. Has selected topics. Fighting COVID-19. Oh, that's insightful. American families. Yeah. Race. Is she black? Is she a black woman? Is she black? I don't even know. Is she black? It's hard to tell. She kind of looks black, right? Oh, well, let's look at her. Let's look at her family. Oh, her mother's black. Her mother, oh, there you go. So she's a half a black. That's why she loved Obama. So she's a half a black. She identifies with her blackness. And I bet her father identifies with the blackness too and calls white people racist. I bet he's one of those guys. I bet his I bet her father, the white guy, is an anti-white supremacist guy. I bet he's one of those guys, right? Fucking screaming. So they're going to talk about fighting COVID, family, American families, race in America, climate change, national security, and leadership. Oh, okay, great stuff. Great stuff. So Trump rips extraordinary, unfair debate. So we already saw this, but just the New York Post. There she is. Oh, there she is. She's a half black woman. So up and coming, really. She's really fucking up and coming, man. So anyway, man. So Mark's Conte. What's up, everybody? Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Thank you for making me able to do this. Thank you in the chat. Vinny DiMartini on the Supreme Wrench. Martin Graffiti's here. Get no holiday. Ban everything. So Thursday is the big day. Thursday is the big day where we're going to have a big debate. I'm a master debater. COVID-19, man. Take care of yourself, man. Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing right now. Get outside to the hot radiation. Take off your shirt. Take off your bra. Take off your clothes. And absorb the sunlight. Absorb the sun. Absorb the heat of your body. Feel the body. Feel the energy move through you as it cleanses you. And it detoxifies you.